segredo. Não quis olhar, não quis perder o sossego. E de manhã, mar teu último prego. Ai, minha árvore preta, que frio na tua sombra. A minha dor predica. I don't know, maybe that's a cable? No? Yep. Ah, it's inside. See, this is.
Sucks.
Yeah, I'll try not to move then.
No, that's unfortunate. Whatever. That's weird.
Aquele barco lento, atravessar a barragem, fumar cigarros, meter conversas. Temos tempo, viver sem pressas. July, I lie that I don't cry. July, I hate to say goodbye. You go your way, and I will follow mine. July, but stay always on my side. You are not the kind, always on my mind. Take me out tonight till the morning light. You are not the kind. Whoa. July, I saw everything I want right in your eyes. Always on my mind, July. Always on my mind, July. Always on my mind.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Sounds good.
Do you want your followers to be able to watch too? Should we throw it on your social media or
No,
no?
thank you. I'll leave it because nobody knows. Because I have like a program what I post, so everybody will know about it only like next month.
Oh.
A little delay. Oh, you come. Hello.
Hello and welcome. Good.
welcome, everybody. So my name is Professor Robertson. In case you don't know me, but I wanted to give a oh. Okay. Good. Right here.
We're actually also streaming it. We're streaming it.
Are we streaming this?
We're streaming
Oh.
this, and we're recording it for our online classes.
Okay, welcome everybody to CSU Channel Islands. My name is Professor Robertson, and I am so honored to welcome LIKA, superstar, to our theory class today. LIKA is a singer-songwriter, but she teaches. She does so much. She was on The Voice. She's a superstar. We're going to be listening to her perform 3 songs today. It's Cherry Blossom, Dancing in the Street, and Thousand, but not in that order. It'll be Cherry Blossom, Thousand, and Dancing in the Street. We have some sheet music here so we can talk about the songwriting process. I'm especially interested to hear what you say about everything songwriting and music creation. We'll have lots of questions for LIKA. So after she plays, I think we'll have you play one piece at a time, and then maybe we'll follow it up with some questions from me, and also Professor Liu, my colleague, is here, and from any students in the audience. Also, for my students, if you have questions, you can also put them in Slack if you don't want to ask them here, and I will go ahead and ask them. So can we give a round of applause for LIKA?
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here, and this is my 3rd time here, and I'm so glad. It seems like every time is better and better because it feels like I'm coming back to home of my good friend of mine. So it feels good. Thank you. And yeah, what Malia said, please ask me questions, any kind of questions. Even if you think doesn't make any sense, it makes sense. All right? I'm here for you. I'm yours for this 1 hour. Please do questions. But first, I will ask you a question. Who loves to eat? Hands up. Right. Thanks God I'm not the only one. Great. Who loves cooking?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. So, and this is actually, I'm talking about myself. I love to eat, and then I love to explore new tastes, new flavors, new cuisines. And then if I tasted this somewhere, I come back home and I'm like, Google, how do I cook couscous at home? How do I cook this and that? And then I find it, and then I try to cook it at home. And then if I did like it, I continue doing it again and again, and I find out that I can do my own recipe. I can do my own dish that I maybe put a little bit more of this, less of that, and stuff like that. So, of course, at the same time, I'm talking about music, because the first thing, we have to love it, right? And we are all here, and this is a great thing. Like, we are like all brothers and sisters here. That's amazing. The second part is, yes, new music, new styles, new rhythms. Something that, when I say be open to new music, I'm not saying about new music that was released yesterday. I mean music that was maybe released 300 years ago, but that is new for you. And for me, what happened amazing is when I moved. I'm originally from Kazakhstan, and I used to study always classical music. I play guitar since I was 11, and that was a big adventure till 25 years old when I moved to Portugal. I studied classical, I studied rock, I studied jazz, and when I moved to Portugal, I moved to study jazz. And then the whole world opened in front of me, because in Portugal we have so many cultures there, because historically, like from people from Africa, from Brazil, we have a huge community from China as well, because there are countries where they speak Portuguese, so they go to Portugal for living. So they bring their cultures there. So I love it when you go to a bar and you can hear music from Mozambique. Here you listen music from Angola. Here you listen to Brazilian music, and then it makes you so much richer. So like you just open a new world inside. Then what was the third part? The third part was about cooking at home, right? I'm coming back home and like, all right, I did like something that I really that I played maybe with someone, just jam session kind of. They do jam sessions there. They like African jam session, and you can go. Nobody cares. Where are you from? You're from Kazakhstan. You're from Portugal. You play African music. You don't play African music. You can go and play with them. And then it's like, wow, what I liked about it, maybe I like some kind of harmony, maybe I like some kind of rhythm. So I'm searching about that. I'm analyzing that. And this is one of it's my favorite part maybe. And this is what makes you stronger as a composer or as a performer. And just thinking about that, just knowing new harmonies, like understanding why it has such an impact to you, why it gives you such an emotion. And I'll give you an example. Like once I was listening to some music and I was like maybe 14 years old. When I started to play guitar, I didn't go very far, very fast, okay? My first teacher, he wasn't that good guitar player, to be honest, but he gave me the best, what I could have. He taught me how to love music, how to treat music, how to love study. And I remember I didn't know a lot about harmony, so I heard one song, don't remember what it was, but I loved it so much, and because it gave me such kind of emotion that it wasn't predictable at all. Like I was expecting one thing and then it doesn't happen, but then it happens after. So let's listen to that, and you tell me, maybe you know this harmony, maybe you heard it before. What do you think was that chord? This gives us a sense of unending. Sorry, cannot find the right word. This is done, right? We were traveling and then we came back home. And this is like a question. Like we are almost home, but not completely at home. And then my teacher said, it's just an interrupted cadency. I'm like, what? Interrupted cadency? It's like when you're not resolving to 1, but you're resolving to 6 minor. Like, I don't know what is 1. I don't know what is 6 minor. And then I got the formula that really changed my life. And this formula, I'll play you something, and you tell me if it reminds you about something. any thoughts? Does it this harmony goes up or down? Up. Right. Does it has any logic? Does it sound right? Okay. Why does it sound right? Tell me that.
It's all the chords 1 through 11.
Right. Yes. This is just the scale chords. Could you please help me to write it down? David, right? Thank you. So if we are in key of C major, let's write it down in key of C major. So the first would be C major, and then you can write down like C major 7 maybe. Yeah, perfect, thank you. D minor 7. Then the third, what is the third, do you know? Tell me.
E minor 7.
Right, yes. E minor 7, and then F major 7,
G7.
G7, then,
A minor 7.
right. What's your name?
Michael.
Michael. Nice to meet you, Michael. Thanks.
You're gonna play with Michael tomorrow, right?
Right. You were the guitar player, right? Where did we stop? G7?
A minor 7.
A minor 7. Okay. And then the seventh chord?
B diminished.
Half diminished. Yep.
How do we write that as a chord symbol, as another alternative? That's not correct. 8 half diminished 7. Don't forget the 7. But what's the alternative? You guys know.
Minor 7 flat 5.
That's right.
That's right.
You
Yeah.
also write it as a B minor 7 flat 5.
So this formula, I call it magic formula because this formula that changed my life completely. Thank you, David. Why did it change my life? Because everything becomes simple. Like you start to understand why it happens like this, why it does have this impact to me. And then I got to know about common progressions. Something like, do you know something about common progression?
Yes.
Yeah? Could you give me some examples, somebody? Maybe something that resolves to 1. Yes.
2 5 1.
2 5 1. Oh yes. Thank you, Michael. So 2 5 1. This progression uses so many times in every kind of music, in pop, in jazz, in rock, like everywhere you can hear 2 5 1 progression. And well, maybe someone else can help me. Maybe you. Who wants to help me with minor progression? Sarah, maybe you? No? All right, Anita, maybe you can help me with minor progression. You just write it down. Michael will tell you the chords. I don't know the chords, Michael knows everything. All right, David, maybe you can help me just once again, please. Write down the chords. Yes. Thank you. So if we are in minor, where we can go? So no, just leave major as well there. The other magic formula, the same thing, but in minor. So if 1 is C minor, what is the 2? The half diminished, exactly, yes. The half diminished?
Are we doing 7 chords?
Yeah, say 7, right.
How else will you write that chord symbol for the D half diminished? Spell it out. A minor 7 flat 5. That you'll see that a lot in pop charts. I tend to see that a lot more than D minor 7 flat 5 in jazz and pop more than F
Yeah. Then the third chord is E flat. Yeah, because we have the what is the key in C minor? The what is the key symbols? Key signature. Oh, yeah, three flats exactly. So it's gonna be E flat, major 7, and then F 7, and then G what?
F minor 7.
F minor 7. Thank you.
So we use major 5 or minor 5?
Where in the F?
After F, we use major or minor?
Here we're gonna use put it minor for now, and then we talk about it. And then A, we should have A flat, right? A flat, major 7, and B, should it be B flat or B natural?
Depends on what you're trying to do.
B flat. Yeah. So, thank you, David. Again, we have these 7 chords, magic chords that show you almost all the possibilities in the if you don't do any kind of modulation, you are in C minor key. And now I'll play for you my song Cherry Blossom, which is in C minor. And maybe you can find some chords from this progression, C minor chord progression. And please put your attention to some 2-5-1s there. We're gonna talk about 2-5-1 common progression, right? He loved champagne. She was alone. The night was long. Besides the fear, she had a dream to stay with him. Wider than skies, deeper than sea, their love could be. But fortune acts so mercilessly. After the flame, the rain came. Cherry blossom season, cherry blossom season, and there is nothing to be said about. More than her eyes, he wants to see the cherry blossom tree. He loved champagne. She didn't ask, is that a face or a mask? He thought her lips to say goodbye and eyes to cry. Cherry blossom season, a cherry blossom season, and there is nothing to be said about. More than her eyes, he wants to see the cherry blossom tree. There will be no kisses in the dark. He flew away through the dark. Blue skies turning gray. He flew away, he loved champagne. She had her dream to stay with him. And here goes the solo. Thank you. Thanks a lot. So, what do you think about the chord progression of 251? Can you see any? All right, when? That's right. Molly, by chance, don't you have one more copy for me?
Oh, yes.
I'm so sorry. Thank you. Right, on measure 45, we do this 251 in C minor, and I wanted to show you something on solo, because you see the harmony on solo, it goes C minor, then D half diminished, and D flat 7 at 9. So, what do you think about this chord? What is this D flat 7?
We haven't learned that in our class yet.
All right.
I don't know if Amy David knows it.
Okay.
Do you know the function of that?
So basically, it's just a 251 because it should be like D minor, G7. In this case, it would be harmonic minor, and C minor, resolving to C minor. But not to make it like sounding all the time the same, we do the tritone substitution. So this D flat 7 is kind of the same G7, but it makes it sound differently. I'll play it for you. Like instead of sounding all the time the same, which after some time it gets too predictable, we do this. And that sounds good also because the bass comes down, half step down each time. So such a common thing to do, and many like great songs, they have this progression when the bass comes down or comes up a half step, because it sounds so smooth, so natural. Like the best example I can give you is this song. You know this, right? So it sounds so perfect. Why? Because bass comes down and the highest voice goes up and the middle voice stays the same at the same place. So it's just, yeah, perfect. And tell me. Bésame mucho as well. All right. Bésame. Also the you know that, Michelle, and so many other songs in the world. So this is a very common thing to substitute the dominant, and sometimes in that song I did like a little kind of modulation. It's not a modulation of the whole song, of the whole music, but it's just going to G minor. Instead of going straight to G minor, he loved champagne, she was alone, the night was long. Besides the view, she had a dream. Let me see which part is that. When we have A half diminished, going to D7 flat 9 and result.
Right? I actually was going to bring that up. That's measure 4.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, instead of playing this 2-5-1 to G minor, I could go just straight to G minor. It would sound like this. He loved champagne, she was alone, the night was long. Besides the fear, she had a dream to stay with him. It would sound okay, but to make it smooth, to make this movement to G minor more smooth, more natural, I do this 2-5 that are not from C minor, that are already from G minor. So I do this little G minor, 2-5 to G minor, and then we stay in C minor. No magic,
Could I elaborate on that?
of course.
Yeah, I was gonna say that opening, I love how I love how there's a little bit of ambiguity of the key. I mean, you start with C minor, but you never hit a G7 to really establish that. So I don't know what the lyrics are exactly, but I love how in measure 4, this is a little bit tricky in music analysis that you guys will get practice at. But what Lika was talking about is she's doing an extended tonicization. There's a 2-5-1 in the key of G minor. So when you look at that G minor in measure 5, that's not minor 5. That's not a functioning minor 5. That's a 1. That's a tonic chord. And we get into the details of whether it's modulating or tonicizing. It's tonicizing. But I would be curious what the lyrics are right there, because generally, like in 19th century music, you have these quick modulations, and when you're outside of the key, any kind of chromaticism, it usually means that there's something otherworldly that you're talking about, or you're like getting out of whatever, you're like getting away from home temporarily. So I would just be curious, because this is at the beginning of the piece, the beginning of the song,
Yeah.
right away, you're like, I'm gonna go somewhere else. And it's surprising, it's delightful. I really like it. So what are the lyrics right there?
What are the lyrics? Let's see. He loved champagne, she was alone, the night was long. Besides the fear, she had a dream
Ah, interesting. Interesting.
to stay with him. Yeah, that's so true, that harmony gives us emotion. Modulation gives us emotion. Like sometimes you continue always at the same key, and then exactly at the moment when you don't expect it, something happens. And maybe as an example, I can play for you 1000, and we can take a look at this song. And sure.
Just a quick question. So in that case, I was wondering,
Yeah.
was it planned, intentional, or it was just
Intuitive.
intuitive?
Yeah, it was just intuitive.
Yes.
I just wanted. Sometimes I think about harmony. Sometimes I really use all these formulas, but sometimes I just think, oh, it just sounds great, and then I understand. Okay, it's just I do it 2-5-1 to this chord or to that chord. So everything explains sometimes after it was written. So, if you have any questions by now? Not really? All right. Then I'll play the second music, 1000, okay?
So this is the last song in this packet.
And actually the story of that music was like this. So I was studying in a jazz music school, and by that time I was so obsessed about jazz, and I was like learning every day new chords, new positions of the chords, and I started to write like hard melodies with minimum 10 chords in the verse, 10 other chords in the chorus. So, and one friend of mine, he told me like, why do you do that? Just do something simple. Just do a simple melody. Just say what's there. Like, don't show everything you learned in all your life in one song. I thought, okay, maybe I'm doing just too much, trying to show that I know everything. No. And at that time, I had a boyfriend, and
and he was a sailor, and he took a boat from France and was going to Africa to deliver that boat. And he had some issue with engine, so he stopped somewhere in the middle of the ocean. He was alone on the boat, and I was like, wow, that's a nice theme to write a song, and that's what happened.
Sitting in my room, playing my guitar. I've got so many things to tell you so far. I'm sitting in my room, and you are really far. I wanna tell you what's in my heart. There was a heavy rain falling to the streets, falling from the skies to benches and trees. It was a crazy thing to fall in love with you, to fall in love so bad, to fall in love so deep, yeah. There was a heavy rain, heavy rain. I dragged my ball and chain, ball and chain. You were like hurricane, hurricane. But now you're far away, and I'm sitting in my room, playing my guitar. I've got so many things to tell you so far. I'm sitting in my room, and you are really far. I wanna tell you what's in my heart. 1,000 shooting stars shooting straight on me. I won't give up on you, please don't give up on me. I think about you more than you could think. You run away from me, I'm running out of ink, yeah. There was a heavy rain, heavy rain. I dragged my ball and chain, ball and chain. You were like hurricane, hurricane. But now you're far away, and I'm sitting in my room, playing my guitar. I've got so many things to tell you so far. I'm sitting in my room, and you are really far. I wanna tell you what's in my heart. 1,000 shooting stars, Venus, Pluto, Mars. I could fill up the universe with my love to you. Through the 1,000 miles, I look straight into your eyes, though it is a crazy dream of you. I'm sitting in my room, playing my guitar. I've got so many things to tell you so far. I'm sitting in my room, and you are really far. I wanna tell you what's in my heart. 1,000 shooting stars, 1,000 shooting stars, 1,000 shooting stars.
Thank you. So in that song, I really I created a tension, thinking about that, not like in previous songs. So first verse, I start the melody in a very low tessiture register, all right? So I sing, sitting in my room, playing my guitar, and then on the second chorus I be the same, absolutely the same melody, but an octave above. So I'm sitting in my room, playing my guitar. I think it brings more impact. If you start like very intimate, I'm singing it like almost whispering, and then I build the energy by uh, higher, doing the higher octave. Then when I start the song, I do it completely alone, and then my band enters only in the second part of the verse. There was a heavy rain, and I'm just telling the story because any music is a story. Any music is an emotion, and we need to deliver that message. If you have a message, you have to find a way to deliver it. It can be your song, it can be song of someone, and you just perform that. But it has a message, so we need to find a way to achieve the level. If you need this level to play it, if music needs to be played faster, or you have to sing it higher, or you have to sing it lower, or you have whatever you have to do for music to be played as it should be, to transmit the message. We need to do that. So in my song, I did this hiring of the melody all the time, because I started from here, and then we started, the verse starts from here, the second part of verse starts from here, and then the chorus starts from here. So every time I'm hiring the melody, and when it comes to the bridge part, what do you think about the bridge? What happens there? Can you find this part in the sheet? Malia, can I ask you for the, please? The music, yeah.
It's here in the back. Oh, sorry. Okay.
It's the last song.
All right. Okay, so what happens there in the bridge? Yeah, it's bar 57. It starts on 57, and it goes, 1,000 shooting stars, Venus flew to Mars. Some strange chords, like from where it comes from, the C minor 6, because we were in C major key, right? You can think about it as if it was C major or A minor. Like, I think to myself that it's C major, but in verses I think about A minor. But it's the same thing, basically. Why is it the same thing? C minor, C major, and A minor. Sorry?
Same key signature.
Exactly, yeah. So they have so many similar notes, the same notes in C major 7 or A minor 7, that it's the same thing.
There's a big clue here. What's the accidental like C over and over in F sharp? So what might that tell you? Right.
What did you say, David?
We've moved keys.
That's right, yeah. So which key has F sharp? G. Or E minor. Yeah, so you can think about, I think about this part as if it is E minor. And E minor, if we remember the first line, E minor is the third chord of C major 7, right? So I think about if I was in C major 7, and then I move just to E minor, and E minor is it's from the family of the root, right? We have families here. We have 3 big families. What are 3 big families of our chords? The root family, and then the let me like, what is that? Right. Good. And this.
You know it? Something that can repeat over and over and over, right? Or the ending leads very nicely to the beginning of the next one, right? So there's a difference between landing on a certain chord. Different chords have different effects, right? So why does this looping progression work so well? Pardon me? Oh yes. Yeah. This is a common pattern. Kind of. Yes. That's right. Did you guys get what India said? So it's because it's ending on 5. That's what makes it a good looping progression when you land on something that leads to, it's inconclusive, it's leading to the next thing, right? The next iteration of it. So I think that's why I love your chorus so much. And it's so catchy. And I first heard this song, what, 3 years ago when you were here?
Yeah.
And I just still think about it. Like it's a very catchy melody, and I love the chord progression there. And I have another question for you, Lika. I wanted to ask about because I'm obsessed with process, with songwriting process, and I've talked to a lot of singer-songwriters, and just I'm always in awe. How did you write this song? And I have friends releasing albums, and it's like, when did you write this? How did you come up with this? And I want to know if your process is similar to theirs, because it's very different. I'm instrumentalist. I don't sing at all. I don't write lyrics. I have nothing poetic to say at all. But I play around with words, and so I always approach composition, music creation from the harmony first, and from sitting at my instrument and improvising chords. So I want to know. Thank you. Thank you.
It is.
It's my understanding that most songwriters don't start like that because lyrics are king. Lyrics are everything, meaning.
Yes, I'm
So
right.
you start with the words, play around, kind of come up with a melody, and then improvise to find chords to harmonize it. Is that your process? If not, what is your process?
Well, honestly, before it was always like that. I was coming up with some line, and then thinking about that line, like, okay, I'm sitting in my room and playing my guitar. So should it start like hard rock? No, it doesn't sound like hard rock, right? Sitting and playing.
So by line you mean lyrics.
Sorry?
By line you mean lyrics.
Yeah, by line I mean lyrics,
But
exactly.
you're also thinking style. What style do I want that?
Yeah, I think about the emotion that it should bring me, and then my knowledge about harmony and about rhythm, it gives me okay, the result. What should I do to reach this kind of emotion? Like, I want something calm, I want something melodic. So how can I reach that? If I want something very, very calm, I would go to maybe I would mix. I wouldn't start from 1. Maybe I start from 3rd, or from if I'm in major. So I'm starting to think about the harmony after the writing, coming up with first few lines at least. But lately I started to try to go out a little bit from this comfort zone, and I tried to make up a song like completely without guitar, because that's the thing I do since I was a kid. I started to play guitar, and as I told you, like, I wasn't that good. I used to play classical music many years, but during all these years I was writing songs like almost every day and coming to class sometimes not practicing very well what I should do. And like, hey teacher, I just wrote a new song. And what I loved about my teacher, that he was always motivating me to write more and more. I was like, yeah, great song. I don't think it was great at all, but that gave me an experience to do this, to do that, and this kind of stuff. And now I start to push myself to write something without guitar. Like, I love to try to do it on piano, for example, because I'm bad on piano. Like I can play any chord. Of course I can count myself with simple songs, but I do it very slow. I have to think about the chords. So when I'm on piano and it's wow, what is that chord? And also on piano because you can play different intervals that you cannot play on guitar altogether, like 2 minor seconds together, here minor second, here minor second. It's perfect, and it's like, wow, what is that? And it sounds new for me, so it gives me new ideas, new emotions. That's how I write lately, and sometimes I understood the power of the melody, because melody should be strong. It cannot be like it should be like half predictable. It cannot be always super predictable, otherwise it's just boring, right? But it's like a travel. Like if you go to traveling somewhere, you need to know, okay, I want to see this, I want to see that. I'm going to Paris, I want to see Tour Eiffel, I want to see these fields, but maybe you don't know what will happen all around this. Maybe you just book the hotel there and you just let it go there. So that's what happens in music sometimes. You just when I play on piano and start to compose from there, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that could happen to me. Maybe you have any other questions? Yes, please.
So I play the nylon string guitar too, and I was just wondering, did I see you playing with your pinky as well?
No, I don't play with my pinky. But sometimes when I do, like I do actually. But when I do a hit, yeah. So because I used to play many years only by myself without a band, so I had to make a rhythm. So sometimes I do hits with my pinky, yeah.
I thought I saw you playing like chords and melodies with the pinky, so I was a little surprised, but I guess I saw wrong.
Yeah, you're not the first one who says this, because maybe my position of the hand is like that, just like that.
Are you not supposed to use pinky?
I have classical guitar, we just never like talk about pinky really.
So you only use the first four fingers? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
interesting.
Maybe, yes?
I have a question about the chord selection.
Mhm.
So I noticed in Cherry Blossom, there's 7 chords everywhere.
Yeah,
In fact, I struggle to find just a regular triad.
right,
Flipping over to thousands, it's the opposite, right?
absolutely.
There's just one delta chord there.
Well,
And
yes.
there's triads everywhere else. So I'm curious, is that a growth thing where was thousand first, where you were just doing triads, and then later Cherry Blossoms comes and you throw in the 7 chords, or is that a deliberate thing? Like, no, I only want triads in this song, and I only want 7 chords.
Well, that's a good question. Well, honestly not. I wrote that 2 songs more or less at the same period of my life. But what I did is I felt that this song Thousand, it's simple, right? It's da da ya da ya, da da ya da da. You don't, and I didn't feel like I need too much 7th chords there. So this was really my decision to go to as simple as possible, and only the bridge just a little step, and then you come back. And that was a great thing that Anita noticed that it finishes in dominant, right? Because the bridge also finishes in dominant in Thousand, and it helps me to come back to C major again. It finishes in G major, so very easily without any kind of additional chords. I just come back to C major from E minor. That's about 1000. And we still have one more song, but like if you want to ask me something else. Okay. Here in Dancing in the Street, I wrote that song when I was, I just arrived to Portugal, and then I was kind of depressed because I was completely alone. I didn't know anybody, though I started to study, and my colleagues were very kind to me, and everybody wanted to help me and take me to jams, to concerts and stuff. But still, I felt myself like I'm just alone in another country. And I wrote that song when I just went outside, and then I met a street musician who was playing, and I started to dance there. I just needed so hard to do something that doesn't fit me. I'm not the person normally who dances in the street after the rain, but that time I did it, and it did work. So the song originally was made in G minor, and we recorded it in G minor. But since I'm having almost all the time some classes of vocal or guitar, and my voice changes, and now it's much easier for me to sing this song in A minor. So we have it there in A minor. But in album it's still in G minor. Maybe I will release it again one day. Dancing in the street after the rain. Oh my darling, I have something to say. Can you feel love runs through your veins? Cold love, hot love, God's love, crazy rising love, love for share. All the roads all over the world are calling you, but I don't care. If all the roads all over the world lead to Rome, I'll wait you there. But don't dance so close to me. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Your smell is a mixture of mountains and sea, rivers and skies. Dancing in the street after the rain. Oh my darling, I have something to say. Can you feel love runs through your veins? Cold love, hot love, God's love, crazy rising love, love for share. Who are we without melody? Close your eyes and dance, whatever works. Rise to runaways, runaways. We're used to chains, but if you try it once, you will want it more. Want to meet you. Dancing in the street after the rain. Oh my darling, I have something to say. Can you feel love runs through your veins? Cold love, hot love, God's love,
written in key of A minor, and what I like about it is that it changes the rhythm, because it's not very rich in terms of harmony, right? You know this, so it's only 4 different chords, and 2 of them are more or less the same thing. So what do you think about the F major and D minor? So when I start, I go to A minor, then it goes to E minor, right? Then I go first to F, and then I do the same thing, A minor, E minor, and I go to D minor, right? You can see it in the score. Why do I do that? Tell me, David.
Symphonic substitution.
Right. Yeah.
Just a substitution.
Just a substitution, yeah, because the chord, the F major and D minor, they are basically the same thing, but not to be very predictable all the time doing the same chord, I just do another chord, which is very close to the first one. So, and how to build the song, I was telling about 1000, the same thing, that I started like whispering, then I started from the 3rd, the melody, then from the 5th, the melody, then in the chorus we come back to 1. So here we did the same. On the recording, we start from the very chill rhythm, dancing in the street after the rain. Then on the verses, we go even like slowing it down to reggae, like da, da, So sometimes we do double tempo back, right? And then on the second chorus, I say 1, 2, me, you, and then we go our rhythm. We stay, of course, at the same tempo all the song, but the rhythm changes, and it changes completely the mood of that song. So then 1, 2, me, you. And then I love when I play with my band. We do it as a flamenco sometimes, because I do. And then all the band goes crazy, and that's so much fun to play with band. And I'm looking forward to ensemble tomorrow. Do you have?
When you guys do it with ensemble, are you gonna do it with all those styles too?
Oh yeah.
Are you gonna have a reggae section?
Oh yeah, we're gonna do everything. Oh yeah.
Tomorrow, that is what time? I think it's 1 and noon, right?
Probably. Do we have ensemble at noon?
And the ensemble's at 2, but I think there's a class, right? And
One jazz class.
you come to the jazz, right? Jazz.
Yes. Yeah. We do jazz ensemble,
So the students
jazz,
who
and then
might go to
ensemble.
classes, you won't come to the class.
Are there any other questions for
Tomorrow
Lisa
at
in the
2.
last few minutes?
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Do you write songs when you feel inspired, or do you say, okay, I'm gonna write a song this time?
Good question. Yeah.
That was gonna be my question.
Ah.
And how do you come up with lyrics?
It's a hard question, and I have to be honest, right? I think that you should do it when you are inspired. I do it myself. I try to keep myself inspired all the time, because I notice that while I'm practicing, when I start practicing, and I start to, because all the practice I divide by 2 parts. So the first part of practicing is I just do technical stuff. So I play songs that I already know, so I technically practice it. I do it just better, faster, slower, whatever. just better. And the second part of my practice is researching new stuff, learning new things. And sometimes I learn maybe some new chord position and it inspires me. Or sometimes I learn some melody. Or sometimes the part of my practice is just watching a concert on YouTube, just watching and analyzing it. And I'm getting inspired out of it, and then I write a song. But at the same time, I always have my little notebook with me when I write my ideas. Like sometimes I just walk on the street and I, oh wow, somebody passed near me and was talking on the phone and having a conversation with his mom, and like, hey, I'm not coming home today, and like, wow, I'm not coming home today. And then it could disinvolve some ideas then after it. Maybe it has no sense for someone, but since it has sense for me, that's what important. And then sometimes when I'm not inspired, but I feel that I have to do it sometimes as an exercise. And I just take my notebook and like, what I do, what I have here. Sometimes I have like almost full song written there, and then I see it and wow, I'm getting inspired out of it. Or sometimes I give a lot of classes. I have my own little studio where I give my classes, where I record and do arrangements and stuff. So sometimes I just have class with some student of mine, and my students, I love how they do mistakes. Sometimes they do something that I think that won't work. Like, but I said to myself some years ago that I'm not gonna stop them from doing that like straight away. Like he started to play like this, tapping on a guitar, but he's just beginner. So I wouldn't stop him. I wouldn't say him like, no, don't do that, just because that's not the way you should play right now. You should play this. No, just let him do. So I do this with my students, and sometimes I let them inspire me, because sometimes they do mistake. Like really, it sounds wrong, but then it sounds good. And wow, what was that chord? And yeah, just being inspired is like doing exercise to notice a great thing around you, because so many great things, like you guys are inspired, like doing your questions, coming here, just giving me your energy. I hope to give you all of everything I have inside me, really. So this is inspiring. Everything is.
You're inspiring, and this was your theory lesson was just so perfectly timed.
Yeah.
Because this is exactly, we're reviewing the circle of fifths. So I really like the way Lika wrote, or David actually wrote it down. But if you all can kind of like take a mental picture and just do it in all keys, you know, it's a really, really good exercise to write in the chord symbols and the Roman numerals for all of the different keys, and then to put it into context of how you're using these chords and how you're deciding to modulate to other keys, but these are diatonic keys. Like I forget what song it was, but you're in A minor times C major, and then you modulate it to E.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like
Yeah,
in a
I saw
very
that.
like